So it is my great honor to welcome the GCC Practical Nursing Certificate Program Class of 2017.
Good afternoon and welcome. On behalf of the Greenfield Community College administration, faculty, and staff, the Practical Nursing Program welcomes you to the 25th pinning ceremony of the class of 2017. Please join me in a round of applause for the class of 2017. Now I would ask the graduates to please stand and turn to your guests and give your guests a round of applause for being your biggest cheerleaders, supporters, tear smoothers, and bringing you through these last 10 months. The stories we've heard. Yes, 10 months ago, you began this journey. There have been the moments of joy, the aha moments when all the information started to make some sense, and for some moments of tears and frustration. But here you are at the end of this journey. You made it through. Welcome to the profession of nursing. Shortly, we will be presenting pins to the graduates. It is believed that the tradition of pinning began with Florence Nightingale in 1855, when Queen Victoria presented her with a brooch. As nursing schools developed through the 1800s, administrators began pinning their graduates with a school-specific pin. The reason? The pin distinguished them from other school graduates, and the school wanted people to know where the graduates came from. The tradition of pinning began to symbolize the entry into nursing, presented by one nurse to a new graduate, a passage of sorts for the nursing profession. The Greenfield Community College Practical Nursing Pin was designed in 1992 when Greenfield Community College assumed the practical nursing program from Smith Vocational in Northampton. The pin's blue Florence Nightingale lamp is set on a book and is the connection to the origins of this program at Smith Vocational. The book represents knowledge, and the light is that which Florence Nightingale brought to the profession. On the edge of the pin are the words, "the right to think and the will to learn." This is taken from the Greenfield Community College School seal. The words are surrounded by laurel leaves, again symbolizing learning and knowledge, and the college's commitment to the principles of education. This evening, we honor the tradition with the Greenfield Community College Practical Nursing Pinning Ceremony. Several nurses will be pinned by a family member who themselves are a nurse. Of the graduates, 2 students pinned will be pinned by a family member who is a graduate of the Practical Nursing program at Greenfield Community College, and 4 by a graduate of the GCC Associate and Degree Nursing program. So to the graduates, I say, remember always the privilege you are given. Nurses are allowed to be present at the most intimate points in a person's life: at the birth of a child, the news of a diagnosis, or the death of someone loved. And as Maya Angelou said, as a nurse, you have the opportunity to heal the heart, the mind, the soul, and the body of your patients and families and yourself. They may not remember your name, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Go forward having the knowledge you need to succeed, and continue to honor the name of the Greenfield Community College Practical Nursing Program by the care you provide to patients and families. So at this point in the program, I would like to introduce members of the dais and the administration, Dr. Bob Pura, who will give us a commencement address.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is a celebration. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. They need some energy. They did a great job this year. Can we hear it one time for them? So I'm also here to bring some welcome to all of you. I want to say first and foremost congratulations to all of the nurses who are here tonight. You have done an outstanding job working really hard in a very challenging program. And in saying that, I want to also congratulate all of our faculty and the staff that supported you along your journey and gave you sort of the ideal of which to work towards. And I want to say congratulations to all of you as well. They would not be sitting here today without each and every one of you. They know it and we know it, so we want to say thank you to all of you as well. So nursing and healthcare is a very high demand area right now. The truth of the matter is that meds and eds, as we say, that there's a high demand for nursing and folks in healthcare and in education. And that will continue to grow here in the Valley. And it's also a very challenging time in healthcare. So it's a wonderful time that you've chosen to become a nurse. I can't think of a time when the skills and the demands that will be placed upon you were any higher. And so I'm pleased, as I think you will be, that you will be wearing the pin that your professor talked about. Honest to goodness, when she was talking about that, I can think of the many, many times that I've walked into a hospital to talk to the CEO or to talk to the head of nursing or meeting with folks in the community who talk about GCC nurses in the highest of regard. And that's what that pin will tell everybody in the hospital, that you have come through a program that has the highest of standards, and you will walk into those hospitals and those homes and whatever facilities you're going to be working at, and you're going to be held in high regard because you've been asked to reach for higher standards. So I want to congratulate all of you for that as well. 3 quick things to say to you. One of the reasons that PIN and GCC nurses are held in such high regard has to do with the fact that our faculty and staff teach the whole nurse. You'll leave here not only prepared with regard to the art and science of healing, all of the technology you need to know, all of the things about the body that you've learned, but you've also learned to communicate more, to think more critically, innovatively, and to work with others in a team better. Those are the skill sets that when I talk to employers, when we did a survey of employers all throughout the Valley, that's what they say they look for the most. So I feel good about that, and I think you should too. Second, you have learned how to learn more than anything else. That's what you will take with you into whatever job that you're about to have. That means that, right now, Bay State Franklin has a new, wonderful, probably the best operating room in the state. It's pretty brand new. I mean, it's very brand new. And in fact, the technology, everything about it is first class. In 5 years, it will be old. In 5 years, the technology in there will no longer be state of the art. It'll be up to you to keep current with all of that. It'll be up to you to keep current in the field that you're walking into. Learning how to learn is something that no one can take away from you. And it'll guide you for the rest of your career in healthcare or wherever you take it. Learning how to learn is the most important outcome of your GCC experience. And third, this is a very complex time, and so all of the demands for data about quality, all of the metrics about finances, all of the political issues swirling around about healthcare are real and significant. The challenges are huge, but never, ever, ever forget why you're there. It's easy to get caught up in all of that and to think about the financing and think about all of the issues you'll be asked to deal with. But never, ever forget why you're there, which is your patient. Never, ever forget to stop in that moment and say, what is it that my patient needs most? So to all of you, I want to say congratulations. We'll look forward to seeing you once you're employed as nurses. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Pura. And now I'd like to introduce from Greenfield Community College, Catherine Seaver. She is the Chief Academic Officer. I think this is the completion of her first year here, and neither her or I can say we're new anymore, I'm told. So, this Dr. Seaver.
So I wrote a short paragraph to read to you, but I was sitting here looking at you all, and I decided to tell you something different and tell you a short story about something that happened to me about, actually 4 months ago. As she said, I just moved here from Connecticut. I started this job last summer, and in February, I fell and broke my ankle. Not a good thing to do when you've just started a new job. I had to have surgery a week after I broke my ankle, and being new to the area, I didn't have any way to get to the hospital for the surgery, and I knew I needed to have a ride. So I made an arrangement with a coworker here at the college. The day before the surgery, I got a call from the doctor's office saying, they've rescheduled your surgery. You need to be here at 7:30 tomorrow morning. And I knew that that would be very difficult for my coworker to work out to get me here this early, or to the hospital that early. So I was hemming and hawing and saying, I don't know if I can do that. I'm not sure how I'm going to get there. One of the nurses at the doctor's office heard this conversation and came over to the person who was talking to me on the phone and said, well, where does she live? And she gave her my address. And that nurse said, well, I gotta be here at 7:30 tomorrow morning. I can pick her up and bring her to the hospital for her surgery on my way into work. And at that moment, I can't tell you the sense of relief. It wasn't about my ankle or anything. It was that arrangement, that detail of my procedure was made possible because of this nurse. So I know you've learned all kinds of great skills, how to care for people, that you're going to be fabulous nurses. But my suggestion to you is that you hang on to that good part of you inside, and you always remember that those are people with other lives. I know that our faculty here have been excellent teachers, and I know they're great people because they're part of our community. So don't ever lose all those extra things that they taught you outside of the textbook, and hang on to that. And I know you're going to be the best nurses that you can possibly be. So congratulations, we're very proud of you. And we hope to see you back here. And I would personally love to see some of you back here as faculty in a couple of years. So keep that in mind as a possible career path at some point. So good luck.
And next in our program is Nancy Craig Williams. She is the Assistant Dean for the nursing programs at Greenfield Community, both the Associate Degree in Nursing program and the Practical Nursing program. And she's going to say a few words to the graduates and then present some nursing awards. I have this for you in case you're...
I'm good. Good afternoon. Yes, it's still afternoon. So it turned out that there's a couple people on this DS that you have not been introduced to, and so I will take a moment and introduce all the folks that you have not been introduced to. So first, to my right is Deborah Palmieri, who is the program coordinator of the Practical Nursing program. As she said, this is her first year, and she's done a great job. She comes to us from Bay State Franklin, and that's a really wonderful opportunity that we've had for her to be part of us. So, Deb? To my left is the nursing faculty, our full-time faculty, Ann Forcier. Krista Klein. And two of the adjunct faculty, Natalie Alexander and Paul Wanta. So, you made it. Isn't that a wonderful feeling? And you all look fabulous. And we always joke, the nursing faculty, we always joke how wonderful the nursing students look at pinning because they've had sleep, they've had a chance to comb their hair, and maybe even put on a little makeup. And so they all just look wonderful, and I wish you all the best in the future. And please, as Catherine mentioned, consider your return here to our AD program at some point or beyond, and maybe as faculty. I can tell you at least one person sitting up here was a graduate of the nurse. Yeah, both of you, sorry. That's right, you are. And many of the faculty in the AD program are also graduates of GCC. So it's been a really nice mix of people joining the group. So I wanted to mention that we are going to be giving several awards. The first awards are awards that are traditionally given at graduation. And the first award is for the highest GPA in the program for highest academic achievement, and that is Caitlin Hernandez. Congratulations, Caitlin. Our second award is a student who was chosen by the faculty for their excellence in clinical nursing, and that is Amy Wood. So The dean of our program, Mary Ellen Feitenkevitz, had a family emergency, wasn't able to join us today. So it is my honor to talk to you, the students, about scholarships you will all be awarded today as part of your graduation. As many of you know, we have some very generous anonymous donors who have helped supported our nursing programs and our students with purchasing of equipment, books, software, educational opportunities, graduation gifts, and a number of scholarships, tutoring, and I know your tutor is going to be your speaker, so that's very exciting to hear. And so because of the generosity of these donors, each of you in your certificate today will be receiving a check for $150 to help defray the costs of your review course and licensing fees. So thank you to them as well.
So now, next in the program, we're going to have the graduate address, and the class has chosen Amy Wood to be the speaker on their behalf.
Okay. So I'd just like to say welcome to GCC's 25th LPN pinning ceremony. I'd actually added a little bit about the pinning ceremony, as Deb had added as well. But I'd just like to add that it's a tradition, signifies an official initiation into the brotherhood and sisterhood of nurses. So you're stuck with us forever. We're all together in this. On behalf of the graduates, I'd like to thank you all for being here and supporting us. We've learned so much in the last 10 months, from the basics of nursing care all the way through to the end of life. Our instructors have prepared us well. They've taught us to provide safe nursing care to our patients, and they've given us a wealth of knowledge throughout this program. We've really done a lot in this little time frame that we had. We've mastered care plans, wound care, med passes, injections, activities of daily living. Some of us experience observing surgical procedures, ER rotations, and Shriners Hospital for Children. We've really had a well-rounded 10 months. One area of the program that we had quite a bit of practice in, and we became quite good at interpreting nursing scenarios. So I'd like to share one with you. It reads like this. Patient X is a 41-year-old female. She presents with diaphoresis, tachypnea, and she's tachycardic but regular. She complains of mild nausea. Her heart feels like it's pounding out of her chest. Patient also states these symptoms started while she was preparing to address a large group of people. Let me interpret this for you if you haven't figured it out already. Patient's sweaty. She's breathing really fast. Heart's racing, rhythm's normal, that's good. And her stomach is not feeling so great. Patient X is probably experiencing anxiety related to fear of public speaking. In case you haven't figured it out, I am patient X. Public speaking's not my specialty, so bear with me. When we first started the program, many of us faced challenges with pronunciation of medications and medical terms. We'd look at these words and it was like trying to decipher a secret code in your alphabet soup. Words like encephalopathy, hydrochlorothiazide, and pyelonephritis, to name a few. You don't want to know what they sounded like in the beginning. Let's just say we've come a long way. 10 months have flashed before our eyes. I think it's safe to speak on behalf of the whole class when I say we felt like we came sliding into home plate at 100 miles an hour, covered in sweat and dust. But we made it, we arrived, and we've earned the privilege of being called nurses. When we started last August, most of us were strangers. Now I look around and I see some pretty good friendships that have been created throughout the program. Bonds that have carried us through so much, from work overload and test anxiety and preparation, to overcoming guilt about not spending enough time with our family and our loved ones. These friendships have been so valuable. No one really understands what you're going through quite as well as another nursing student. Besides, who else can you eat with lunch with and discuss bowel patterns and wound drainage with? There's nothing quite like a conversation about C. diff while munching on hot wings. We've shared stories about the awesome things that we've seen, compared them like kids on a school ground comparing old scars. We've definitely had some laughs along the way. And speaking of post-exam anxiety, after exams, we would all huddle in the spare room down the hall. We would frantically ask each other what you picked for an answer on certain question, and this would go back and forth until we resumed class. A lot of us were still stressed after the exam, even after it was over, but not Jonathan. Nope, not Jonathan. He'd walk in, listen to the chatter, he'd look around, pick up his bag, smile from ear to ear, shake it off like it was nothing, and say, "You get what you get, and you don't get upset." I chuckled the first time that I heard him say that, and I asked him where he heard that from, because it was kind of catchy. He told me that our classmate's daughter would say it all the time, and it just stuck with him. That 10-year-old is wise beyond her years. The stress would just kind of slowly roll off my shoulders every time I'd hear him say that. It just really helped a lot. This program was stressful at times, but no matter what, we always seemed to pull each other through. I'd like to take a minute just to thank Sarah Reepold. She tutored most of the class this year. On behalf of our class, we just have a monumental amount of gratitude for all of your help. Confucius said, "Choose a job you love and you'll never work a day in your life." Now, I'm not saying that nurses don't work hard. I'd probably be shot if I said that. They work very hard, and I'm sure we can all agree on that. But when your heart is in your work, it's a whole lot easier to get up, show up, and be amazing at what you do. I think we chose well. I'd like to share a thought with my class. A great nurse will never lose sight of the balance between confidence and arrogance. It's a really fine line and a balancing act. So listen to that little voice in your head that says, "Please let me keep my patient safe today. Don't let me hurt anybody." A nurse that reminds themselves that something can go wrong will surely keep the patient's safety at the forefront of their brain. To wrap things up, I'd like to extend a heartfelt thank you from our class to every one of you that has supported us through our journey. Most of us could not have accomplished what we have without your support. To my peers, we ended the year with a bang. At least Anthea did. I wish you all the best of luck. Do great things and be amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. At this point in the program, the class has chosen Sarah Reepold as the class speaker on their behalf. Sarah is a graduate of the Practical Nursing Program in 2016, and she was also awarded the Clinical Excellence Award in 2016 by this program, and she is a 2017 graduate of the Associate Degree in Nursing Program here at Greenfield Community College. Sarah was unanimously chosen. There was no debate, no discussion. Hands went flying up, and I guess she told us she was told that she had to speak. I'm not sure which one of you told her that, but that's what we hear. And Sarah was also, for many years before she became a nurse, a certified ophthalmic technician. She has a wealth of experience in healthcare and a very broad view of the healthcare system, I think, having worked in outpatient, inpatient, in all her rotations. So on behalf of the class of 2017, I'd like to introduce Sarah Reepold.
So yes, I was up here a year ago addressing my graduating class. And as I stood up here, anxiety sweating through my shirt, I swore I'm never doing this again. But I've gotten to know this group. I adore them, and there was no way I would have missed this for the world. Amy, you did amazing. Your speech was perfect. I unfortunately don't have very profound words of wisdom for you. Don't know why you picked me. But what I do want to tell you is, don't ever let anybody tell you that you are just an LPN. A wise nurse, Miss Virginia Wall, once told me that RN does not stand for real nurse. Those are words that I've taken to heart, and I really hope you guys do too. You have the knowledge, the skills, and the ability to think just like the RNs do. And just because you have LPN after your name doesn't make you any less capable or less valuable in the healthcare process. You earned those letters. Be proud of them. So we know college is hard. Nursing school doesn't even compare. You guys have learned, in the past 10 months, you have learned 90% of what the RNs learned in 2 years. That's a heck of an accomplishment. You should be very, very proud of yourselves. This program is and will always be very near and dear to me, and I'm so thankful that I've had the opportunity to be a part of your journey here at GCC. Your drive to learn, your want to be good nurses is inspiring. You've put in the hours, you've worked your butts off to get to here today, and I just cannot wait to see what the future holds for all of you guys. I told you in the beginning, when it's over, you're gonna miss it. And you all looked at me like I was nuts. Well, here you are, you're done. And trust and believe, when you walk out of here today, you're going to miss it. You might not miss Ann, but you're going to miss it. I'm kidding, I love you. Everybody loves Ann. I'm joking. All your hard work and sacrifice have paid off, and you are nurses. So when you leave here today, do not stress about your boards. Your instructors have prepared you well, you're gonna be fine. What I do want you to do, grab your friends, grab your family, grab your beverage of choice, and go have the complete mental breakdown that you so deserve. You have earned it. I am so unbelievably proud of all of you guys, and I would be so honored to have any one of you take care of me should I fall and break a hip or develop left-sided heart failure. Congratulations, class of 2017. You are my babies, now you're my rock stars. And like Amy said, go be amazing. Congratulations, guys.
Sarah? Come back. You're not done. So now we're going to begin the pinning part of the program. Part of the tradition of the practical nursing program is that while we call each student up on stage to receive their certificate and to be pinned by the faculty of Krista and Ann, I read a thank you note that they have written about the people that they would like to thank for supporting them through this program. So the first graduate is Cynthia Allen. Cindy would like to thank her two girls for their support, help, and understanding that their mom could not always be there for them. She would also like to thank Jeff for being there for her girls when she could not, and for his support, encouragement, and understanding. Without it, she doesn't think she would have made it. Cindy would also like to thank her family, friends, and teachers for their help, support, and encouragement. Thank you so much. Megan Andrews. Megan would like to thank all her friends for keeping her sane and grounded throughout this program, her family for their endless support and encouragement, especially her mom for being there from every mental breakdown to every accomplishment in the last 10 months. Megan couldn't have done it without you. Sierra Barton. Sierra is going to be pinned by her aunt, Crystal Smith, registered nurse, a GCC nursing graduate. Sierra would like to thank her mom, dad, Chase, Justin, and the rest of her family who supported her through the last 10 months of school. She could not have done it with all of your love and support. She would also like to thank her Aunt Crystal, who inspired her to choose nursing. Mariella Canoe. would like to thank her amazing mother for all the love and support. Mariella says, "Thank you for always being there for me. I can't even put into words how thankful I am for having you as my mom." She would also like to thank her stepdad, Brad. She says, "You've always treated me like your own daughter. Thank you for all your support, Dad. You are truly a blessing in my life." Mariella also wants to thank the love of her life, Greg. "Thank you for being so supportive and patient. She would have not done it without you." She's dedicating this achievement to her favorite angel up there who has always been her inspiration in life, her father. Okay, Jonathan Correa would like to thank his son Josiah for making him want to further his career and pursue this program. His mom and grandma for helping out with his son when he had class, Maylin for helping him study and putting up with him, and finally the credit card company for increasing his credit limit in the time of need. Marcy Cooper is going to be pinned by her mother, Barbara Cooper, LPN, a graduate of the GCC PN program. Marcy would like to thank her mom, Latanya, Miss Mary, and Chrysia for all the love, support, and understanding during this experience. Kate and Megan for the rides and for being by her side. Kim for being her rock and doing anything she needed without hesitation or complaining. And her biggest accomplishment, Cameron, for giving her strength and drive to do her best. Stephanie Dickinson. Stephanie wants to thank Juliana, Nick, Mom, Sue, Eric, and Sarah. Without your help and encouragement, she wouldn't be here today. Thank you all for making her dreams become a reality. Kate Dobus. Kate will be pinned by her mother, Doreen Dobus, LPN. Kate would like to thank her mother, her father, Cody, Josh, Sophie, Ziva, and the Wells family, and an extra special thank you to you, Sarah, for supporting her out through the hardest 10 months of her life. She could not have done this without all your love and support.
Go Kate.
Mary Filial. Mary would like to thank all her friends and family who supported her out through this program, but especially her mom for putting up with her multiple meltdowns and being her volunteer patient all the time. She deserves a big thank you. She couldn't have made it without you. She would also like to thank her dad for being such an example of compassion and her inspiration to pursue nursing. Lenore Debbie Friedlander is going to be pinned by her sister-in-law, Suzanne Love Goldshire. She's an RN and a GCC nursing graduate. Debbie would like to thank her sister, or as she calls her, her outlaw and dear friend, Nurse Suzanne Love Goldscheider, for turning her on to nursing. She has been Debbie's coach and cheerleader this whole year and is a fantastic role model. Debbie wants to thank her family and especially her daughter, Maisha, who has been her inspiration and motivation for returning to the classroom as a student. Debbie hopes they continue to inspire and challenge each other to be the best and smartest person they can be. And thanks to her dad, who has always been on her side, encouraging all her endeavors. Caitlin Hernandez will be pinned by her mother, Johanna Cassidy. She's a bachelor's nurse, a registered nurse. She's a graduate of the GCC PN program and the GCC ADN program. Caitlin would like to thank her husband, Eric, for his endless support and patience. She would like to thank her daughter, Alexis, for helping with Natalia, while Mom was studying. And a big thank you to her mom, Johanna, for all the smoothies and coffee. She wouldn't have been able to do it with all your help. Anthea Howe. Anthea gives her deepest and humblest gratitude extended to her friends and loved ones. Thank you for the prayers and support throughout this journey. Her mom, Althea, especially for the constant encouragement. Love you endlessly. Her brother, Ranil, and sister, Sherry Ann, love you both. A big thank you to one of her besties, Kimone, who has been a rock listening to her explain things, even though she had no idea what Anthea was talking about. Love and appreciate all who contributed and believed in her. Hard work and dedication to make her dreams come true. Okay, Anthea, prestare e prestare means preserve and excel. Ishi Lind wants to thank her husband and children for their love and support. She couldn't have done it without you. Emily Milieu would like to thank her mom, dad, Caitlin, and the rest of her friends and family. A special thanks to Curtis for his patience and understanding of the last 10 months. She could not have done it without all of your unconditional love and support. Angela Nagwa is grateful to Greenfield Community College for giving her the opportunity to pursue her nursing career. Nursing has been Angela's dream career since she was a little child. It has been an interesting journey full of challenges and obstacles that made it difficult, but she is thankful to have made it through. She thanks God for giving her strength. She thanks her instructors who have been very supportive throughout the program by being understanding, patient, and ready to answer any questions. She is grateful to her classmates, whom she had the privilege to study with in group discussions and even in other areas. She is grateful to Sarah for helping her and her classmates during review for exams, not forgetting her friends who have been cheerleaders and some who have helped her with rides to school and financially. Her family has also been supporting from a distance by encouraging her every day to keep on going. Shutsi Sanville would like first to thank God because she would not have been able to do it without him. A huge thank you to her dad for believing and encouraging her and for being there no matter what and for all the support he has given her over these past 10 months. A special thank you to her amazing little sisters for listening to her complain when she was too stressed out. To her classmates, especially Debbie, Angela, and Mariella, for staying late to study. A special thank you to all of her wonderful and supportive instructors. Katie Sankova said it's been a hard journey these last 10 months. There were many ups and downs, but she made it, and she's thankful for that. She would like to thank her friends and family for always being there for her, for always keeping her on her toes. She wouldn't have done it without all of you. Katie would also like to thank Sarah for helping her and teaching her your ways, for all the study sessions and funny stories. Lastly, she would like to say thank you to her professors and instructors who have taught her through this program. Thank you for everything you do. Courtney Summers is going to be pinned by her sister, Erica Summers, who's a registered nurse and a graduate of the GCC ADN program, and her mom, who's a graduate of the LPN program. Courtney would like to thank her two biggest role models, her mom and her sister, for showing her how to be a compassionate, caring nurse. Thank you to her dad for the continuous love and support and for always making sure her car was tuned so she could make it to class. She would also like to thank Mary. She couldn't have made it through this program without you. Bethel Taylor. Bethel would like to thank first God for helping her. Then she would like to thank her husband Bob, who supported her in every step of the way. Her sons for trying to give her space while she was studying. She would also like to thank the rest of her family and friends near and far for their moral support. Awilda Vasquez will be pinned by her niece, Natalie Bass, who is a registered nurse. Awilda would like to thank her boyfriend and her children for being supportive and understanding throughout her time in this program, her siblings and in-laws for always being positive and giving her words of encouragement. Also her niece for inspiring her to become a nurse. She couldn't have done it without all of you. Emily Walker would like to thank her family and friends for helping her get through the hardest adventure she has ever taken. And thank you to her grandmother, a nurse of 60-plus years who lost her battle with cancer along the way, and for pushing her to continue on when things got hard. Amy Wood. Amy would like to thank Alicia for her daily motivational prep talks throughout the year that always ended with, "Do great things, Mom." Thank you, Emily, for somehow knowing the exact moment Amy needed a hug. Thank you to Caitlin for keeping Amy laughing through her study sessions, and a special thank you to Amy's husband for all of his extra love, support, and patience. She wouldn't be where she is today without you. And Beth Wolfenden. Beth would like to thank her husband Mike for all his support and motivation. She could not have made it without his help. She would like to thank Riley and Seamus for being such good boys and allowing her the time she needed to study. Her mom for loving her no matter what, and her dad for always being there for her. So once again, let's hear a big round of applause for the class of 2017. The journey is complete. You all have achieved your goal, and for many, this goal is just the stepping stone toward other nursing goals. Some of you are off in the next year to ADN or BSN programs. We have given you a solid foundation. Now it's your time to fly. In conclusion, to use the most heard phrase, believe me, this is what we heard all year as faculty, and it's probably the quote of the class of 2017. Can we go now? Yes, you can go. Congratulations and much success, and wishes for much success.